All right, so let's go back. December 28th, 2021, I think it was. You decided to do a raw vegan cellular detox cleanse, raw fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. Was
I
it
think that was the
21 or
date.
22?
2021 or
I think it was
2022.
22.
Was it 22?
It was one of those
Well, it
dates.
was a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
And you set out to
2022.
do 90 days, and then
Hmm.
it blew your mind to
Oh, it
change.
was 2021. You're right.
Was it 20? Yeah. And then, so you're going to do 3 months, change your life so much. You did a whole year of only fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So you say this is the only way. I heard you say, like, this is how we truly cellular detox,
Hmm.
not with like the herbs or or like the teas or all these other ways. Like, this is how we truly cellular detox.
Yeah.
And I think you were having like a lot of brain fog, inflammation, some maybe relationship stuff going on or trauma and stuff. And you say, like, this is how we work through it.
Yeah.
So take us
It's
back.
funny because on my way here, I was even thinking about that. It's usually when you're going through a lot of things. I used to go on like a lot of retreats and go in this place and mystical places, spiritual retreats, trying to like, help myself with the things I was dealing with my human experience, with business, life, relationships. It become a lot. So the reason why I say this is the only way is after doing raw fruits and vegetables for a year and really letting the fruits and the vegetables and then the herbs and really let them take control and do what they're supposed to do, you really see that all those things and those places that you're seeking to help heal you is just inside, but it starts with what you feed yourself. And it took me even back to understanding, like I always go into the Bible, like one of the first things God ever said about fruits and vegetables, that they were good and they were here to heal you. And it was just written, like one of the first things ever written. So like, if you want to make life simple, you understand that it's really inside, and the things that we're often searching for outside of ourselves to help us, those can be temporary, because I will get some temporary help, from those things, but going inside and working with the fruit, working with the vegetables, working with the things that were put on this earth for us to heal was like the best decision I ever made. So I always say that's the true way, because one thing I'll say is like, I'm not 100% raw vegan all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm busy. I'm traveling. So sometimes I'm in places where there's not good raw options, but I do eat as alkaline as possible too. So what I will say is that when you know where to go, like most people don't even know where to go to reset. Sometimes you think you need a
No,
vacation.
everybody's lost, right?
Yeah, you think you need a vacation. And
Yeah.
you need a vacation from the food you're eating. You need a vacation from the stimulus outside of yourself that you're taking in. So that's what raw fruits and vegetables taught me, is that you don't really have to go anywhere. Just get the food right.
It's so simple, right?
Yeah, it's the food.
So like, it's interesting. Well, it's the same effect on me and so many people I interview, but it's still so interesting to me. Like, it changed you on a level, like with trauma and with relationship problems and things like that. Like, it sort of clicked and fixed those things too, just changing the foods you eat.
Well, I will say, because our cells hold data, they hold a record of what's going on in your life. So if you're going through something relationally, or if you're dealing with childhood trauma, that's lodged in your cells. So if you don't cleanse on a cellular level, then your cells, there's billions of them. That's what runs your whole system. So I would say that, there are a lot of things that I went through growing up. And when we say relationally, that means like business relationships, personal relationships, friend relationships. Like I was dealing with a lot of different things as I've grown, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're going through these levels. So I had all of those different things lodged inside of me. And I would say the way you understand if you've grown through those things, if you just don't want to say, oh, this is just some bro science, you talk about detoxing your cells and emotions, is like, after that, I'm a way calmer person. I'm way more aware of my relationships. My emotional intelligence is even higher than it was. And I'm able to really like just read all the rooms, and then you're able to like forgive people and able to do things that I wasn't able to do in the past, and I'm like, is this me? You start asking yourself like, hold on, that person just pissed me off and I'm not mad at them. You know what I'm saying? And like, I used to be a hothead. I was like, listen, I was master get back. Like, you did something to me, I had to do something to you. And, with growth and maturity, I had already started working on those things. But then when I went through a stage of just detoxing my body on a cellular level, and it was many nights that I sat in rooms, reading, praying, meditating, reading scripture, reading different books, along with cleansing my body so there's not any outside foreign things going on in me. It allows you to get to a space where you can really see who you are. And a lot of us are like, we're like these pure people, right? And you get to like kind of experience that. And I think everybody My philosophy is that everybody should at least go raw. Not for you. You don't have to do it for your entire life, but like do it for a time so you can experience a level of living that you don't know exists for yourself. So you can experience a side of yourself or a part of yourself that you don't know exists. Like there's a part of it was a part of me I didn't know exists. There were different things that I learned. I was like, man, am I being like? I was asking myself, am I being like more softer? Like, because I'm very rigid and hard my entire life, just battling. I grew up in Philadelphia. I grew up, not in the best environment. I was involved in the streets. I was doing certain things. I lived a fast life at times. So I'm like, all that came down. I'm like, am I like being softer right now? What is this? Right? Like new information. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
New things are happening.
Yeah. Would you say this is like one of the best experiences you've ever had? Like, would you be who you are right now or where you are if you hadn't done this? Imagine you hadn't done this. Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking right now.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I'm involved with, I wouldn't be involved with right now from health and wellness perspective because I was in the health and wellness industry for a long time. I opened gyms. I built different companies in health and wellness. But to get to this level of holistic understanding and holistic healing, and it took me into herbs, it took me into meeting people like you, other people in the raw vegan community, other people in the holistic healing community, some of my friends now, so yeah, I wouldn't even be here if I didn't take that experience. And the crazy part about it is that when I started doing it, I was like, all right, this is kind of crazy, but I'm a person that just like is gonna go for it. So I was like, I don't know what's on the other side of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like I don't know. When you went raw vegan, did you think about like, all right, what's going to happen to me after this?
I had no idea. I read something by Dr. Sebi on like August 30th, 2016, August 31st, and I tried it the next day.
Right.
And then I had no idea I could feel this good.
Right.
I was like, how have I never tried this before? And it was like you said, like it was like a part of me I didn't know that was there. Like it was, but it was like the real part of me, like my higher self. Like this is how I'm supposed to feel.
Right.
I felt like.
And I think like, so with me, I'm like a big studier of myself. So I know what state I'm in based on basically how I'm operating. So I can like step outside myself and say, okay, how did you operate in that moment? And that'll let me know if I'm actually in a more grounded state or if I'm in a state where I'm just kind of moving with the matrix. And you can't 100% like remove yourself from the matrix because of how big it is right now. Like it's a machine and it's growing, but we have to operate in it as humans because we're still here, or you just go on a rock and like try to transcend and leave. But that's an option, that's always pretty dope. I think about
always
that
lots of options out there, right?
But I always say, if you're going to be here, you're going to be having, working as a human and being a human, it's very much important that you're aware of your different states because you're not going to be 100% right all the time. But you can look at it and say, oh, maybe I wasn't right there, right? And that's what I think cleansing your body on a cellular level allows you to do because now I know when I'm very calm in a state that I should be calm, and I'm like, oh, did I flare up right there, or did I, exercise as much grace as I could right there? And these weren't things that I really looked at, prior to raw vegan 100%, because raw vegan puts you in state, especially like even when you go through these like juice fasts. Like I went on a couple of juice fasts throughout it. You really get in a state where it's just like you and you're just grounded. So the ultimate state of you being grounded. So now anything outside of that you're aware of. You know what I'm saying?
And you benefited from the juice fast too?
Yeah. Juice fasts were just things that I tried. There were a couple that I did. I did grapes. I did watermelons for about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. I would tell you when I was doing like drinking watermelon for like 3 weeks, it was one time where I just felt like I was walking and floating.
No, I believe it.
You ever feel like that?
Wow. Yeah.
And like the sun was just shining. Amazing time. I always tell people, ask me like, how was that time? I said, I can't recreate that.
Yeah.
Like you can't recreate like how you feel on a juice fast.
I want to show you guys quick the amazing juicer today's guest uses. I use as well, and almost everyone I interview on this channel. It is life-changing and incredible. This is the Nama J2 juicer. So easy to use, so easy to clean. And they also have the C2 juicer, which is a juicer and blender in one. I've replaced my Vitamix with it. I make everything in this machine. You can also make nut milk in all these machines. They all have a 15-year warranty. They are built to last. They have payment plans, and they are just so amazing. I cannot recommend them enough for your juicing journey, for getting more plants in you. So if you want to pick one of these up today, support your girl. Use code GBMango at checkout. I'll put the link down below, and let's get back to the podcast.
And you feel so spiritual, right?
Yeah,
you feel so connected. Like you on a juice fast, you notice the synchronicities like crazy. Like you feel like, oh yeah, God is there. Like God is speaking to me through people and things. And like you really, don't you feel like on the
Yeah.
juice fast, I'm just like bam, bam, whoa, like so connected.
Right. Yeah, I would say, and I think one of the reasons for that is it's just like a natural understanding of how life works. The more you remove, the more you can actually, see and you can feel. We have all these, I call them like blockers and buffers in life. Like we live our lives and then we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have Bitcoin, we have cars, we have, politics. These are all buffers we can't really see. You're here, but you're not really like seeing because, I think there's a study that says we only really see like 0.00 something of what's really going on. And then also if you put all those things that are going on around us, like I just mentioned, how do you really see and feel what you really want to see and feel, or that connection to your higher self, or that connection to God? So I think once you go on a fast and you're just focused on yourself and you're drinking only liquids and you're removing everything, you're removing the noise, you're removing the distractions, it just allows you to see and feel what you should be, And that's why I think my understanding of ancient times, and people always ask, well, why don't we see miracles, signs, wonders, and things, now? Why? Because it's just we're just so boggled down by the noise. So I think once you remove those things, and people always say they have a heightened spiritual experience when they're juice fasting, is because they've been able to remove the things that they couldn't see. You're able to open up those eyes that you have, open up those feelings, the sensors that you've been that's been suppressed by the world.
Yeah. Wow. Well said. And you do feel like you did a good cellular detox on that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think you would have had as good a cellular detox with like nuts and grains and stuff? So you just did fruits and vegetables, right?
Yeah,
like that's what's interesting to me. And I'll link your video down below. I think it's got like 6 million views. I think it might be the biggest raw vegan actual video, like shorts aside, on YouTube.
Yeah, it might be.
But it's just so interesting to me that you did just fruits and vegetables, not the nuts and seeds. And like for a lot of years, I've been pretty fat heavy with like the grains, and like your video inspired me. Maybe I should do like a cellular detox without like the nuts and stuff. So like, why did you exclude those? Do you think it's harder to like get that cellular cleanse with those heavier foods?
Well, I just read that they were harder to digest. And when you go through these processes, you want to put as less strain on the body as possible when it's going through a detox. So I just omitted them. Like it wasn't really a big thing that I looked into. It was just like, oh, it seems nut seeds. I was doing a lot of research, and the research backed it up from each person that I heard it from. So I was like, okay, well, we'll omit the nuts and seeds.
And it worked.
Yeah, because like, so this is not to come at anybody that's raw vegan, but like raw vegan, I believe, has different levels. And each level is its own level. One's not better than the other one. That's why I don't want to come at anyone, but like, nuts and seeds can give you some they give you some support. Like, what I'm saying? Because we eat fruits and vegetables, you got this nuts and seeds, you get a little crunch, you get a little fill, you might get a little fat. Well, you ain't got that. You just out here.
You're just
fruits,
out here.
Vegetables. Like,
and you felt full. Like, so take us through like what were you eating on your cellular cleanse, and how long did it take you to feel good?
So when I first started, I tried to be a fruit connoisseur. And I always tell people, don't do that. I was going to the farmer's market. I'm getting dragon fruit. I'm getting pineapple. I'm getting this. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just getting all the fruits. And I'm like peeling the fruits, and I'm eating dragon fruit. I'm like peeling mangoes. And I realized that was very time consuming for me based on my lifestyle. So doing the G thing, I was like, all right, how do I make this efficient, like a structure, like a business? Because that's how I think. I think everything about business. So I was like, all right, I have to eat certain fruits that are easy for me to eat, easy for me to cut, easy for me to blend. So I got to a point where I started eating just certain types of fruits. So I started out eating all types of fruits. I was at farmer's market trying to get everything. Then I started eating like mangoes, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. I was doing a lot of kiwis, some pineapple here and there, just like fruit that I knew and that I didn't have to study or figure out what it was and how to peel it, just stuff that I could do. A lot of melons, stuff that I could blend or juice easily, and that was easy for me. I'm a simple guy. I don't really need a lot of variety. So, and then when I did salads, every now and again, I would do a salad. I would do like romaine lettuce with like bell peppers and stuff like that.
So pretty simple.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. Now, there was some times where I would say like for the first 90 days, I was pretty simple because I was like, all right, I'm doing 90 days. But then when I kept going, I started getting curious. So I would, look at some recipes. I would make my own dressings out of fruit and I would do certain salads. I would do certain fruit smoothies that I could blend together. So I got a little bit more creative towards the end. But with my first 90, I was super strict.
Yeah. And then how would you say it changed your life the most, or like some more of the benefits? And how do you think it could change someone's life watching? Someone who's watching, like maybe feeling like crap, considering trying this?
This is what I'm gonna say. Cause I told you, I case study myself. I'm very aware. Like, it's the food. Period. Like, if you're feeling bad, one of the biggest reasons you're feeling bad is the food. Because even to this day, because I do eat about, I would say like 50 to 60% raw, sometimes 70. Sometimes I eat for a whole month raw, depending on what's going on. But when I don't, I can literally feel the drop in my frequency, especially if I'm not eating alkaline. Like, if you try something and it's acidic or it's processed, and I don't do that, maybe like ever anymore. I don't remember the last time, but if I do, I can feel it. So there's a distinct difference around how you feel based on what you put in yourself. But like, it's easy, like it's simple. We know these things, but if it's not pleasurable to the flesh, then we kind of disregard them. And that's what happens with most people. It's like, and I will tell you this, it changed my life because I used to be like commercial vegan. I was eating Beyond Burgers and Impossible. Like, I had been plant-based for a while before I actually went raw, but it wasn't really better than someone that was eating meat.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, I think I said, did I say on the last episode, meat made in the lab is crazy.
It is crazy.
Like, I had to start realizing, yo, I'm eating meat made in the lab. Like, who am I to talk to somebody that's eating beef? You're eating meat made in the lab.
It's true.
Now,
it's weird, right?
It's not a good idea.
What is that even?
I don't know.
And you probably noticed a big difference when you switch from that to just the fruits and vegetables, right? Especially on your mind, right? Your like mentality and stuff.
And then also, like, because you're 100% raw all the time. I get to the point sometimes where I can't, I'm like, yo, I have to like just go raw right now. Like, I'll be like, I gotta go. Like, I have like a crazy trip and I'll like, be on a business trip and then like visiting family and then come back home. I'm like, all right, we're raw, because I know what it's going to do for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's going to take me to like this other level. I know I'm going to have great sleep. I know I'm not going to wake up with any inflammation. Like, it's just amazing to know. Like, you have to have a reference point. Like, you can't have any growth without having reference points of where you're trying to grow. So like, once a target is defined, direction can appear. But if you don't have any targets, there's no direction. So a lot of people are just eating and living with no direction. They have no target of understanding of what can make them better, what can make them feel better. The only direction they have is going to someone else to tell them about their body. Like, the worst thing you want to do is not know your body. Like, that's one thing that I live by now, is like, I know my body. I know what's going on in my body. I know if this is happening. I know when I'm stressed. I know, like, if I didn't eat the right thing. Like, you need to know those things. You don't want to put that in somebody else's hands.
You're right. And so many people now are so disconnected from their body, right? Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah,
wow.
So that's one of the biggest benefits that when you asked me, that raw taught me, is not to be disconnected from your body and how not to be. And it's like a process. Like, you can't expect 3 to 7 days to go past and then you're going to understand these things. Right? It teaches you patience. Like, I had to be so patient, so disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things, like, these are probably attributes that you have that you probably do by accident or you do on autopilot now. But it's very important. You know, so if you're lacking in discipline, if you're lacking in patience, it's just not food, you know? And food is like the most important thing that we put in our body. So like, it's everything, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I've learned a lot of lessons. I still learn lessons every day from Raw Vegan. You know, there are still downloads happening that I might learn today, but I won't realize it till next week. Because sometimes the lesson is learned, but it's not exemplified until the time is tested, you know? So there are many lessons that I've learned that I didn't even know I learned until I was tested to see, oh man, I learned that lesson. But where did that come from? You know?
Yeah. So. And you felt good when you did the full year. Like, you felt good, you felt energized. Could you still work out, or was it a struggle and was it hard?
So I'll say, this is another thing. So I did the full year. I did not work out majority of the year. Like, probably 11 out of 12 months, I didn't work out. I just stretched a lot. And the reason why I didn't work out, because I didn't feel comfortable working out. I started and it just like, I didn't feel like I wanted to work out. I felt like I just wanted to let my body rest. I was like, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it all the way. But I will say, post Raw Vegan for a year, like, there's days where I don't eat probably until like one would say dinner time, but it'll just be one meal and it'll be a salad and I'm good. And I'll work out raw. Like these are things I couldn't do before going raw vegan. My body like is so much stronger, you know, and it can do things that it couldn't do before. Like I could drink juice. I'll be working out with my boys and they eat meat and they're, you know, doing all these things and I'm working out right with them. I'm like, yeah, I haven't eaten anything all day. They're like, how? I'm like, my body's probably trained. It understands. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, so
You know
it did
what
a
I'm
lot. But I know a lot of people too, there is a detox period, right? Where you feel like crap. And I think a lot of people think, oh, is this normal? Should I be feeling this way? And they want to give up, and having the support is good then. Because you felt like crap for the first while too, right?
Yeah, for like the first 2 or 3
And
weeks.
did you feel like stopping? Were you like, oh, or you knew this was like a good thing, detoxing like that?
Yeah, I just understood that if you introduce something into the body or you introduce something to your life and it's better for you, because like I said, I was very biblical in my thought process. So I'm like, if God's telling me this is good, it's good. But if I'm not feeling good, then it ain't the fruit, it's me. You know, so think about when you introduce new things into your life that are better for you, and they've shown that they're better. And if you're having a negative effect from it, it may not be the thing, it may be you. So I kept putting that in my head, like, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. Because it was already written that this was good. You know, and God didn't say a lot of things were good, but he said fruits and vegetables were good. He said leaves, herbs, here to heal you. So I'm like, listen, heal me.
I know there's certain herbs that you found were more healing than others.
I just like to drink tea. So I like burdock root tea, chamomile tea. What other teas did I drink? Ginger tea. I don't know if ginger's really a herb. Is ginger herb?
I don't, kind of. Maybe not, but
herby.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, those were two of the herbs that I like to do teas with.
And everything like super anti-inflammatory, right? Because all the inflammation is causing so many problems, right? And all the food, like people don't even realize, right?
Right. So if you like understood, like when I was eating those Beyond Burgers and I was like commercial plant-based and I was trying to I used to weigh like 215, 220 pounds and I used to like deadlift 450 pounds. I was benching 315, squatting over 400 pounds. So over time, it got to a point where I couldn't really move. Like I was injuring my groin. I was injuring my hamstrings. I was going to physical therapy. They were saying nothing was wrong, putting me in physical therapy. I feel super inflamed. I mean, I felt like I was holding weight so many places. And I tell you, I was going through some things. Business was going a certain way. I had just got out of a relationship that had been, you know, super up and down. So for the first time, having that type of relationship that was like so emotional. So all these things going on. So I'm like, yo, I need anything that's anti-inflammatory because right now I feel like my entire life
inflammation.
Right. My entire life is inflamed. Everything's up in flames. Like, calm me down. Let's cool it off. You know.
So then maybe it's not bad. All the bad happened, right? Because then it sent you to like something good, right?
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we have to be thankful for things that we thought were bad because they ended up putting us on the right path. You know, because we were trying to do things our way, and I was trying to do things my way, trying to bully my way through life, eat plant-based Beyond Burgers, and do what I wanted to do. But God redirected me.
For the better. And do you think that stress can affect our health? I know like in the Matrix these days, like it can be stressful out there. Like there can be a lot of stress. And do you think it can affect our health? And like, how do you manage your stress?
Yeah, stress is a killer. Yeah, when we release cortisol into our body, that is the worst thing we could do. Your body does not want stress. Stress lowers down your immune system, lowers your defense systems. Stress makes your body ache. So I think a lot of people are stressed, and some people are stressed and don't even know it because you can wear it well. So when the body is stressed, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're showing it outwardly. So sometimes you're internally stressed, but not showing it outwardly because some people are just good at being a warrior and battling through life. So yeah, stress is, I try to keep my stress levels down as much as possible, but I deal with a lot of people and a lot of things on a day-to-day basis. So the things I do is, one, eat raw, eat fruits and vegetables. Like I know when I'm feeling stressed, like tea, fruit, like we're not doing anything else. Tea, fruit, bath. You know, those are like my thing. What is it? TFB, tea, fruit, bath. Tea, fruit, bath, tea, fruit, bath. Like we're drinking tea, we're eating fruit, and we taking a bath. Like we soaking.
Yeah, because you have to take you time too, away from everything, right?
And then there's like sauna. I do a lot of sauna, working out. I run, jog, and then try to manage like what is the heavy lift of my day. So this is a tip for people just in general. If I have a heavy lift in my day, basically if there's something big that I need to accomplish, I pretty much don't tend to anything else because that'll stress me out up until the time to do the big thing. And then I won't do the big thing as best as I could do. And I'll be stressed out about the big thing too. So I very much manage my days and manage my people. I have a people limit. I have a social battery limit. There's times where I just don't answer the phone because I need to take this time for myself. I believe that you were not giving your phone to say that you have to answer every single alert. Social media, I keep it to a minimum unless I'm trying to produce. I don't try to doom scroll because that can bring stress. Sometimes people have problems that they don't think. Some people have more problems than they actually have because they're watching social media, because social media make you think you have problems that you don't have. And it's very big these days. So I don't try to be on social media as much if I'm not producing content. So there are a lot of different things, managing the people around me, and then the fruit, the vegetables, and making sure the diet is clean as possible.
And see, it's good. You know how to say no. I think that's a big thing too, right? I think a lot of people say yes and yes, don't set boundaries. And then that creates a lot of stress inside themselves, right? And then they end up blowing up or getting health problems even. Yeah,
because stress will give you health problems. Like stress, like just because I have a lot of experience in it and I understand being stressed, I understand like not having your life ran in a way where you are in control. Because if you're not in control of your life and everyone else is in control of your life, and if your family and your friends and your business partners and all these other things and the distractions are in control of your life, that's a recipe for disaster. And if you don't know where to go, like I said, maybe you just go raw vegan for a while and reset yourself, reset your nervous system, let those cells get some time to actually turn over correctly. You know, let that mucus get out your body, let the inflammation go down, you know, get all that acid from, you know, moving around and creating all those problems in your life and the brain fog, and like just slow down.
And okay, so when you were like fully raw for the year, did you feel like you were getting all the nutrients, and were you worried about blood sugar? Because I know some people worry about that with all the fruit and the fruit juice. Was that a worry for you? And did your sugars feel like stable?
So the thing about me is, once I decide to do something, I just do it, and I don't focus on anything negative. I'm super optimistic about what I do. I think because if we can direct our energy towards what we want, a lot of the things that manifest in our life come from our thoughts. Like we do become what we think about. Our beliefs become our actual, our reality. So my reality for me, I just wanted it to be the most healing, best time for myself. So I didn't even think about my blood sugar, to be honest. And in terms of nutrients, I never thought that I was going to be nutrient deficient. And in me understanding health, wellness, and how you get minerals and how they absorb into the body and things of that nature, I was like, well, I'm looking at what I'm eating and I think I'm fine, especially for just a period of time.
Yeah.
You know, because then also you got to think about what is the reciprocal of what I was doing. And a lot of people, like, they don't go to Olive Garden and say, hey, did you make these biscuits with canola oil, or did you make these biscuits with margarine, or did you make these biscuits with butter? But usually when it comes down to something that's beneficial for you, that's when a lot of people question everything. I got to check with this, I got to check with that. Were you checking with the Hennessy, right?
It's so true.
Did you go to the liquor store and say, hey, what's going on with this Hennessy? Did you guys triple filter this Hennessy? Is it like
so true?
Like, so
you know what? That's a good point.
And then like it's fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So like when it comes down to like the thought process around, oh, you're not going to get this, oh, you're not going to get that, I'm like, well, what are you actually getting right now? That's detrimental to you. So this removal process of those things and introducing these good things, I don't think it's going to hurt you that bad. You know, because the things that you're doing are hurting you. For you to even be thinking that you need to make a change.
True.
You know, like McDonald's, like, I don't know if the fries are real. Are they?
No, all the ingredients
they
in
said
there now?
The burgers is stale, and even the processed foods, like the processed vegan foods.
I know.
And I'm not against anybody that's in their plant-based journey going through that, because I was there. So I don't like it. I just like to bring awareness from where I am now. You know, so when it came down to the nutrients and stuff, no, that was nothing that I really questioned. Like I did, you know, like take your supplements, take magnesium, take some iron, take B12, take vitamin C. These are things that you can take as well. Because you can't really, when you juice your own fruit in your juice and you blend your own fruits and vegetables, you can't really like look at it and say, okay, I know what I'm getting in this, right? Because there's no thing on it that tells you. So just be aware and then supplement as you should. Take a multivitamin, you know? So I don't think it's like that big of an issue that people make. I think that's like a smoke screen for most people, just to be like, those people are crazy.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah. Was there anybody who really inspired you? Like any people that inspired you on your journey?
I started watching your channel, I think.
Yeah.
I think I saw a few videos from you.
Yeah.
Just watching some of the guests that were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really, so the thing about me is I didn't really know of like anybody else. I didn't even know it was a thing. Like I didn't know raw vegan was a thing.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't because I tell you, because when I put my video up,
Then you made your video, you got 6
yeah,
million
I'm like,
views.
yo,
You're
hold
like,
on, what is this? And then I like blended a smoothie on IG one day, and it got like 250,000 views, and all these people were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, blending a smoothie. Like I was, like it was like day 19. I hadn't been on social for a while, so let me blend this smoothie, make some content. Just to show what I was doing, inspire somebody to maybe make a fruit smoothie. But I didn't know so many people were interested in like fruit and like vegetables, and I didn't know it was such a thing. So, no, I didn't know there was a community really. I think I started watching. I don't know when I saw some of your videos. But it was later on. It was later on. Like when I did like my first 90 and stuff, I was like pretty oblivious. I was just in my own world.
And you must have been feeling pretty good by the 90 days. And did you do any water fasting or dry fasting or no? Like at all?
So I'm not a big water faster. Water fasting is actually hard for me, but I do dry fast. Dry fasting is pretty easy for me.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah,
easy. I did
yeah.
my first one a couple weeks ago. I just did 48 hours. I felt like it could have gone like 5 days. I wanted to, but I was also taking care of some family members and stuff. So it was too much. I had to stop. But it was really easy, and I found it very beneficial. So you've liked that
Yeah,
too?
I like dry fasting way more than water fasting. I think by like the 36th to the 48th hour when you start to just feel like that, I just start to feel like everything seems super slow and you seem super in control.
I love it.
So like I'm even like reminiscing, maybe I should do a dry fast
I know,
because
me
like
too. I'm like, tomorrow?
I love how they make you feel. When you get through the first 24, you should be on your way to some good feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, so what are maybe 3 of the biggest things you've learned about health?
What are the biggest 3 things?
Yeah,
3 of the biggest things that I've learned
like
about
you
health.
can leave 3 things about health behind in a book. What are the biggest things you want to leave behind?
Let's see. Oh man, I could give you 10 maybe. Let's talk about it. Let's see. So one is no one's coming, just like they say in entrepreneurship and just life, no one's coming to save you. Someone's coming to like prescribe you and diagnose you, but no one's really coming to save you. And that's what I realized about even with my journey. It was like, I don't know where I would have been if I didn't go raw. I'm really appreciative of the whole experience because I was able to. Now I don't have anything life-threatening going on, but through my studies of raw vegan, and I used to be hooked up with a few holistic healers, and also I used to work with a ozone therapy and holistic and Lyme. They used to do a lot of different modalities, but I used to see a lot of people that are going through things and they don't know where to go. They don't know who to help them. And you get to a certain point where you got to trust, doctors and things of that nature. So I would say if you can take your health in your own hands, this is the time to do so. Another thing I would say that I've learned about health is everything that the health and wellness industry is kind of split. It's split in 2 sides. Like you have the big pharma, and they don't have your best interest. You can't take what the food industry or the pharmaceutical industry tells you about food and apply it to your life. You have to learn about these industries and then apply your way of living to that. Because if you take what they say, chances are your best interest has not been thought about. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. What else? Health and wellness it's a lifelong journey.
True.
Being a better person is more than just, sitting down and getting your diet correct. It's about getting your mental correct. It's about your environment around you. I think environment is big. I think one of the biggest, I would say, predictors of how you're going to be as a person just in your life is your environment. Like what environments are you around? Actually, all the way down to where you live. Like how is your house? How is it set up? This is all health. And sometimes the things that we overlook are the things that we need to pay the most attention to. And if we don't start paying attention to them, we think we're in control of our lives. Sometimes we think we're in control of our health, but usually that's like a lot of our ego. Like sometimes you got to sit down and say, I don't got this together. I don't have my health, and my health is not right now. And another thing I realized, this is for my people that used to be athletes or were very healthy. Me personally, I had to really humble myself and say, you might want to really look into how deep you want to go into like herbs, fruit, and things of that nature, because you've been so hard on yourself, so hard on your bones, so hard on your joints. And I know a lot of people, bodybuilders, athletes, and they, by the time they're 40 or 50, they can't walk, they can't move.
Crazy.
And then you got to go to physical therapy, but they're not really addressing the inflammation in the body. They start prescribing you even more things that are just putting, blocking the signals. So I believe a lot of that stuff from my, former athletes and different people that went through different things, you got to really start juicing and cleansing your body on a cellular level. It should be part of your natural practice each month or each year.
Wow. And what do you think about carnivore?
What do I think about carnivore? Like in terms of what?
Just in general.
Like eating meat?
People eat only meat. Like, it's a big
carnivore
thing.
diet only?
Like there's even, I know this one girl, she was Dara. She was raw vegan for 20 years and she just left for carnivore.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
No, me neither.
I mean, that like even if I wasn't plant-based, I still just wouldn't eat meat only.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty biased against meat. And I'm gonna tell you why. I've had different experiences with meat that don't sit well. Like there was a time where I had ground turkey and it had worms. And that didn't stop me. This was like almost 10 years ago, but and then I had like a bison and it made my gums burn. And it was times where I couldn't digest meat, where it would just sit in my stomach, like just sit there. And it was times where I was having digestion issues with meat. So that's one of the reasons I had to get off of meat, because I couldn't handle it. People even say, oh, you're blood type, you should be eating meat. I'm like, listen.
Me too, I'm blood type O.
Whatever my blood type says, I'm not going for that. I can't digest this thing.
Me
like
too.
this meat's not working. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? So like I would go to sleep after eating meat. Like it never gave me any, I mean, I had a good physique and things of that nature, but what at what cost? At what cost? So like I could never be I don't know how people eat meat only, because from my reference point, it doesn't work for me. So maybe it works for them, but I don't think, now from a humane standpoint, I've come accustomed, I didn't go plant-based. Like I wasn't like save the animals. That wasn't me. That wasn't me at first. It was more about the health the things that I was going through. But as I've come to understand and looking at animals and looking at them, I'm like, I'm not trying to eat something that was living already.
Me too.
Because before they die, they release all their stress hormones and all that other things. So I don't want their spirit of stress and anxiety right before they die in me. If you believe spirit never dies, then it can't stop just in humans. It got to go right to the animals too. So what are you eating? What is the energy that you're putting in your body? Think about this. I used to always say this all the time. Like if you was walking down the street and they were slaughtering a cow right in front of you, would you stop them, or would you just walk past, or would you look at it? Would you eat that same cow that you saw being slaughtered right in the street at that moment? So if you wouldn't eat it when you saw it, but you'll eat it when it's done behind closed doors. So what type of moral compass is that? So those are the things I started thinking about when it comes to meat. I'm very logical and rational. So I have to say, hey, would I do this if I saw it in front of me? Probably not. So why would I do it if it's done behind me? I try to make it simple.
I love that.
But yeah, I couldn't do carnivore.
No.
Yeah, I don't understand how people do that.
I don't understand how people do that either.
Like,
yeah. I mean, before I went raw, I was on all these different diets trying to figure out my health problems and stuff. And I pretty much did carnivore because I read the blood type diet book, and I'm blood type O.
Yeah.
And it said you should be high meat. I was eating like really high meat and was not thriving. But I mean,
I'm telling you, I'm blood type O, and I feel amazing.
Yeah, me too.
I feel amazing. Even when I eat raw, and I love people that can cook gourmet raw. If you can cook gourmet raw, let me know. Right? Like gourmet raw, like y'all start chefing it up a certain way, making it like beyond the fruits and vegetables. Like, so I have a couple restaurants I go to that could do raw, but a lot of them, they don't stay open too long. That I've seen some of them get closed and things. They don't have the right amount of marketing or good audience. But when they're good, or if you cook holistic, let me know, because I love when people do like gourmet raw. So I would say for the person that's on the fence about going raw, after me understanding this journey now, after my initial year, and now I've been doing it, and being in this type of lifestyle, just do it. The best time to start is before you're ready. And the time I started, it was the most busiest time in my life and business. I shouldn't have did it if you looked at the world and you looked at what I was going through. But sometimes you have to make that decision for yourself, and you just got to start. And sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. And I'm a testimony to that. And sometimes you're going to have a lot of small steps in your life that end up making, you big type of waves and decisions. But things always won't make sense in the beginning. Sometimes they only make sense looking back at them in reverse. So don't try to get all the answers. Don't look for the guarantee of what life is going to bring you. Sometimes you have to just go through life, make a different decision. If you're tired of the people around you, remove yourself. If you're tired of feeling the way you feel, change the way you eat. But make that decision today. Like today you can do it. Like you can go to the farmer's market today. Go get yourself some fruit today.
Real food.
Real food
Away
today.
from the crap food.
And it's not
changes your life.
It's not, listen, it's not going to be anything outside of you. It's going to be what you eat. I'm going to give you some scripture, right? Because I like to talk about scripture, because if there's one thing that's true in the Bible, if you don't believe anything in the Bible, is what God said about food and what the Bible says about fruits and herbs. In Genesis, it says that the fruits and vegetables are very good. You know, and good, I always say good in Hebrew means tov, and tov means kind of like divine, like this can't be refuted, like this is what it is. And if you look at Corinthians, there's a scripture in Corinthians that says, do you not know that your body is a temple? Like your body is a temple. What does a temple need? It needs to be treated with the best and most honor, right? So have you been treating yourself like a temple? You know, there's a scripture in Ezekiel that talks about sanctuary waters flowing to trees that bear fruits. And it says that their fruits will be for food and the leaves will be for healing. Like herbs heal, fruit is food. You know, Proverbs says, what is it for you? It's a scripture in Proverbs says it's better for you to eat a plate full of vegetables or a plate full of herbs than an ox that's been treated with hatred. Like it's better to do that, right? So now there are also other things around, you know, different things in scripture, but like those are things that have been said. So what I did was I followed what it said and I got the same result that it said I would get. And I was like, well, this must be true. You know, so if you are a person that follows scripture, you follow the Bible, look in your word, it'll tell you. And if you follow other things, even in past civilizations, ancient civilizations, they all ate herb, they all did herbs, they all talked about fruit, they talked about how those things would heal the body and things of that nature. So it's already been written in history. Sometimes you just gotta slow down and make it simple. Stop listening to all the things that the world is telling you, that you need to do this, that you need this shot, you need Ozempic, you need that, you need to get on this medication, you need to suppress yourself, you need all these foreign man-made lab materials, these synthetic things. Like, let's make this very simple. I know I'm getting a little passionate right now, but let's make this very simple.
Good.
You don't need anybody to make you anything to make you feel better. Nobody needs to make something in the lab for you. They don't need to put a pill together. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
You can do it yourself. Yeah, you don't need any of that stuff, right? And even from someone like me I've done business, I've been around the world and back. I've, you know, done many things. I have many accolades that I've accomplished in this world. Even someone like me, I had to come back down to the simple understanding that no one is still coming to save me and no one is coming to save you. We have to do this ourselves. But if you have people that are giving information like Jillian, she does a great job of bringing so many people that have their testimony about what has happened with them raw vegan. This is not like some spoof. Like, this is really happening.
Yeah, this is not a spoof.
Don't watch this channel another year and not make a decision to help yourself. You know, like I said, don't have to be forever. But I think everyone should experience going raw or doing a cleanse, juice fasting, some type of cellular detox. You should experience it one time in your life so you have a reference point of what can be done in your body and how you can feel and what level you can get to. That's all I got.
And it could totally change your life, right?
Exactly.
It's changed my life. I wouldn't even be here right now if I didn't go raw. I wouldn't be living in Miami. I wouldn't have left Canada. I wouldn't be sitting with you.
Come on.
I wouldn't be living my dream life, in my purpose, in my passion,
Let's go.
in my dream house, everything, literally.
Come on.
Because of how I choose to take care of myself and eat.
Exactly.
And then you do really get a greater sense of love for yourself too, eating that way, because you're respecting yourself. Eating well is a sense of self-respect, right? If you respect yourself, like, you eat well.
Right.
You don't eat like McDonald's and all that stuff, right?
You don't.
That's the bottom line.
And the world doesn't want you. They don't want you to respect yourself. They want you to stay low, submissive, and suppressed.
I know.
Dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because if you start to unlock these understandings in these different ways of living, like, how could they control you? Right? When you master self-discipline, you cannot be ruled by others. When you master the way you think, when you master the way you eat, you can't be ruled by others. And like I told you, we live in this, what we call a matrix. You know, I know it's pretty trendy to say that, but you got to learn the rules and you got to play them well, and then you can create your own. But the only way you can create your own rules is if you start to control yourself. People ask me like, gee, like, how are you the way you are? Like, how do you move the way you do? And how do you, like, understand these things? I said, like, I understand a long time ago that this world was not on my side 100%. This is still a great place to be. Like you can experience heaven on earth. You know, I believe that. I believe that there was a time when I was raw that I was experiencing like heaven on earth. Like I felt that good. I felt like my 3D reality was almost like what you would say would be a 4D reality, where there's no time and there's just love and there's like you can experience that. I believe. I think there's glimpses of that we can have, but also I think if you start to understand this process of what goes in your body, inputs equal outputs. Period. That's a universal principle that what goes in and what comes out. Now, the thing about things being good is sometimes when it goes in, it doesn't come out just as fast. And that's when people give up. Sometimes it goes in, it takes a little time to marinate. You gotta let it marinate. You gotta let the raw vegan cake sit in the fridge for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Before you start slicing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta let it marinate a little bit. And then it's gonna come out and listen, me and G are telling you right now, that's what happened with us. That's what it was good. Now, and this is for all my people that's not 100% raw. I don't claim to be this raw vegan guru. I'm just telling you guys about my experiences. I'm a businessman. Like, remember I told you when I did raw vegan, I was like, I had to shut it down because it got so big that it was overpowering my brain with all the other stuff I had already created. I had a gym, I had multiple online fitness companies, you know, that I had built over the years. I had staff, I had all these things, and it was like, yo, this is so big. So for all my people that aren't raw vegan and you don't want to be at 100%, just get the reference point of what it means and how it feels. You know what I'm saying?
I love
that.
that.
I want to see some hybrid raws come out of here.
Yeah.
Some transitioning raws.
Yeah.
Some people that say, you know what, I know where to go and I know how to be raw when I need to be, and then I can go back to my life and I can be alkaline plant-based. I want to see some people that say, oh, you know what, I need to be 100% raw because I'm in an environment to do so. And this is what I want for my life. I want to try this. I want to see people make these new declarations and changes about their life. I want people to say, you know what, I don't like how my bodies feel. I'm carrying too much inflammation. I'm carrying too much weight in my stomach. And I want to stop looking at myself subconsciously and walking past the mirror and saying, I don't like how it looks. I'm gonna cleanse my body. I'm gonna feel better. I want people to start claiming that for their life. And that's what they don't want us to do. They don't want us to start claiming stuff. It's our right. You know, it's our right to live, being bold. We're supposed to have total dominion. You know, we're not living with total dominion because we're taking everything that the enemy's given us. How you gonna have dominion over your life or dominion over anything if you're not even taking advantage of what God gave you?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like God gave us all these things and we're not using them. And it's not like he gave us Bitcoin and technology and cell phones. He gave us fruits and vegetables and a word and some wisdom.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we use that, we be fine. Now, I could go forever, but like that's what I want people to. I really want people to understand those things.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, once they do it, they feel so good. They have no idea they can feel this good.
Yeah.
And then they might just want to do it forever, or they keep going back to it, like you, because you're like, okay, I know how good that feels. I'm my best self when I'm raw, right? And right now, you might be watching and not even know how that feels. Once you try it, like it'll blow your mind.
You gotta feel it, like,
crazy.
And get through the healing crisis. You might have like a healing crisis, which is your body purging and getting rid of stuff, but then get on the other side of that. Because like I'm gonna tell you, one of the things that changed my life for real when I went raw is, you know, people often watch what you do rather than what you say. So that's why I'm not a big talk guy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see me, I won't even be on the internet if I ain't got nothing to say. I'll be like, if I got to build my businesses offline, I'm building right now. I ain't got nothing to say. So one of the things that changed my life when I went raw was I was going raw and my family all started like, I've been trying to tell them to eat healthy forever. I was a personal trainer 10 years ago. So the moment I started going raw, like my mom would send me a video of my nephew juicing. I'm like, blending fruit. So I want to be like Uncle G. I was like, my mom making smoothies.
Wow, crazy, no way.
Yeah, so like, I'm like.
It really does inspire people.
One of my philosophies of life, if you want to change the world, change yourself first. Then you can change your family. Then you can change your community. And then they can do the same thing, and that's how the world changes. You know, look inside and do the things that you need to do for yourself. So like that was a testament to that, was I was changing myself. That's all I did. That's all you did. That's how this channel grew. All I did was like, you know, I'm gonna take care of myself. And while taking care of myself, my family started to catch on. And then the community started to catch on. And a video went on YouTube and a lot of people started to catch on. A lot of the raw vegan healers and holistic healers, they got pushed. Cause I don't specialize in like all the things that are deeper, you know, into like, you know, taking people in and diagnosing them and helping them. Like, I don't do all of that. I just say, hey, this is what I did. But a lot of people that did do that, that didn't have a voice or their voice wasn't as big, it got pushed and it got amplified. So the community got taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I was happy to see that too. I saw a lot of people that just started like really popping and being buzzing around what they did. And I'm like, I see it all over the place now. People are doing, you know, fruit detox coaching and they're helping people cleanse. I'm like, I'm all for that.
Mhm.
You know, herb businesses are blowing up, sea moss is all over the place. I'm like, let's get it.
I love it.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
true. It's good.
So
The world is changing. Yeah. Well, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming back on. You're always great. You're so well spoken and just such an inspiration. And go follow G. I'll put actually your YouTube video on the screen right now, your
Yes.
raw vegan one, and another video of us on the screen. So go watch one of those two. I'll put all the links down below. Follow G's channel, follow my channel, and we love you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.